I'm sending a clear message to the world. America is broken.
The single most embarrassing moment in the history of our country was the withdrawal from Afghanistan.
The last time we were at Kabul airport, it was controlled by the US military. But today, it's these fighters, the Taliban.
This Taliban victory is something President Biden truly owns.
Unsustainable and under siege. The official July apprehensions numbers are in. The criminal cartels are running the entry into America.
When we have an open border, we're not just talking about the people, as we said. We're talking about the drugs that are coming in, the human trafficking, mostly in women.
This White House is doing nothing about the issue.
President Biden once again blaming others for his catastrophic failure on COVID. If you want a test, you're going to have to wait. Long lines are the norm as panicked Americans all across the country scramble to find tests.
There is no federal solution.
Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, what have you been doing? Because it hasn't been working on COVID.
President Biden facing a nightmare thanks to rising inflation and a supply crisis.
You can't find lumber to build a new home. Can't find products to stock the shelves of your small business. Can't find holiday gifts.
It begins to affect the price of bacon, the price of milk, the price of gas. This is the crisis that pays the biggest price for the Biden administration politically.
Inflation surging more than expected in September, with consumers paying 5.4% more for goods compared to last year.
Right now, inflation's at 6.8%. On Donald Trump's last day in office, January 20th, it was at 1.4%.
Inflation numbers out, consumer prices are up 6.8% last month, the biggest spike since 1982.
Gasoline prices are on the rise, and it's the same for home heating oil and natural gas.
Selling gas, the only station in town for $7.59 a gallon. 759.
It's a coast-to-coast crime wave brought to you by Democrats' weak and completely irresponsible crime policy.
A string of smash-and-grab robberies combined with an uptick in home invasion attacks have Los Angeles residents on edge.
Joe Biden, he and Kamala Harris are just trying to paper over the carnage. This was the equivalent of some old kook coming into the office and walking around with a clipboard trying to act like he's doing something, and he's not getting anything done.
Inflation surging.
The supply crisis.
Afghanistan. Conflict with the Chinese.
Gas prices are surging.
An inflation crisis, an energy crisis, a jobs crisis, an Afghanistan crisis, a COVID crisis, a southern border crisis, supply chain crisis.
We did it. We did it, Joe.
What am I doing here?
That was a recent video that Donald Trump released about Joe Biden. Absolute brutality there. And quite frankly, you're getting a lot of material here. The Biden administration is providing quite a bit of material when it comes to the embarrassment of their management of this country. It is impossible to really state now that as we are creeping toward the 1 year mark for Joe Biden, the 1 year mark for the Biden regime, it is really difficult to assess a single thing good that has happened under Joe Biden's tenureship here. Can you name anything good that has happened? I mean, again, it's like what attack ads are made of. That's often what people say in the political world. While there's your attack ad, it's almost such a target-rich environment. It's hard to pin down what are the better ways to attack Joe Biden. I mean, it's the entire year. There's not a single good thing that this administration has done in the entire year. It's been such an embarrassment and such an easy vector of attack. That ad shows exactly how savage you can get.
If you go to the pharmacy, we hear this over and over again, empty shelves, no test kits. Is that a failure?
No, I don't think it's a failure. I think it's, you could argue that we should have known a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 months ago, a month ago. I've ordered 500 million of the pills, 500 million pills. 500 million test kits that are going to be available to be sent to every home in America if anybody wants them. But the answer is, yeah, I wish I had thought about ordering 500 million pills 2 months ago before COVID hit here.
But we're nearly 2 years into this pandemic. You're a year into the presidency. Empty shelves and no test kits in some places, 3 days before Christmas when it's so important. Is that good enough?
No, nothing's been good enough.
Relatively savage question there from David Muir from ABC News. He asked Joe Biden essentially, why do you suck? Like, why are the shelves empty? Why does nobody have testing kits for COVID? Why have you ruined Christmas? And no amount of fake container ships outside of your fake White House and your fake window will let us think that Christmas has not been ruined, you old, pretentious, sad man. Yes, Joe Biden is like the anti-Santa Claus. He steals from you on Christmas. He steals your wealth by increasing inflation. He steals your health by not getting COVID under control and by fear-mongering over COVID. He steals your joy by perpetually telling you that it's going to be a Christmas of death and despair for you if you are unvaccinated, which is untrue. He steals the capacity for you to provide for your family by making government mandates, dictates about your health that are utterly unconstitutional. And thank God the Supreme Court is listening, is going to be hearing arguments on that and will most likely strike that down, as obviously it is unconstitutional. But then it's like, you listen to Joe Biden talk and ramble and mumble in an interview like that, perfectly rational question right there from ABC News, and kind of a savage question from ABC News. And you just feel sad for the guy because he just doesn't know. His regime is all about collapse. The point is collapse. The point is pain. The point is destruction of America. It's why we are all going to be taking America back, and we are going to be doing it happily. We're going to be happy warriors. We're going to celebrate our Christmas, and we're going to make better Christmases for us and our children in the future. God bless all of you, and Merry Christmas. And forget about that old bastard. He's he should be put out to pasture. This is some hilarious footage here of Joe Biden being stuck on Air Force One. The pool report shows that Joe Biden's Air Force One is being run very similarly to his own administration. Joe Biden has absolutely no competence in his administration, no competence in running anything, including but not limited to the economy, inflation, the border, the housing market, the stock market, critical race theory, and all other manner of foreign and domestic enemies, Iran, China, and Russia included. Everyone is walking all over Joe Biden, and it seems like the competency of Joe Biden's Air Force One also equally incompetent in the sense that they couldn't even get the stairs out to the runway to meet Joe Biden. Then when Joe Biden went down the stairs, he was slipping, he was sliding, and he had still a mask on. It's the middle of a freaking blizzard, ladies and gentlemen, a blizzard in Washington, D.C. right now. Joe Biden could barely get down the stairs, and he still has a mask on. That's right, Joe Biden masked in a blizzard, because we all know that that is where people are regularly sick and spreading diseases, is in the middle of a snowstorm. That's right. That is how it all works. When it's bitterly cold outside and the snow is in blizzard conditions, that's when you need to mask the very most. It's such an embarrassment, such a clown world. But Joe Biden can't even get off his Air Force One vehicle. The Daily Mail writes that Joe Biden was stuck on Air Force One because they couldn't get the stairs over to the plane, and that Joe Biden got stuck there for the better part of an hour as they were waiting essentially for them to get the stairs over, which had been locked. So once again, much like everything else in our country, Joe Biden can't even handle getting off Air Force One competently. A further embarrassment to our nation. God help us. God help us for the next 3 years. Please let the midterms happen now.
Thank you for watching. We are 100% independent news. Are you sick of being lied to? We certainly are. That's why we started this channel. But we can't do it without you. We can't keep going without your help. All we ask is that you click like and subscribe and share this video. It's free and it keeps us going, it keeps us growing, it keeps us getting the truth out there to break the rotted corporate media infrastructure that wants to lie to you every single day, wants to corrupt your narratives, your truth, your story, and your very society. So support us by clicking like, clicking subscribe, and thank you, Patriots.